Family ministry was so good.
Hey Nate, how does someone get involved in Imago Dei?
Well, first, we would ask that you become a member. We are not comfortable with putting people in um, ministry positions or serving positions that are not members of the church. We talked about this in the membership portion of our video, but we think that the membership and even the name of Imago Dei is a display of God's glory, and so we do not want people in positions of service or ministry that are not bearing the name of Imago Dei, because we cannot hold them accountable to our covenant. And so the first step would be to be a member, covenant member of our church. If you're going to want to serve in our church, then you're going to want to covenant with our body. I would hope that's a logical step. Next, we would say that you need to start exercising service. There's a misconception many times that getting involved in ministry in the church means only given a title, like you're given a Bible study and you're given the title of teacher, and you're given a group of people to do a Bible study with. Instead, we would say ministry at Imago Dei should be taking place all the time, and it's taking place without titles. We really stress in our covenant membership process that every single member is a missionary and every single member is a disciple maker. It's the one command Jesus gave us. Well, that's ministry and that's service, and that's taking place without us giving you any kind of responsibility per se. And so, if you think you have the gift of teaching, Tony talked about this a couple of weeks ago in one of his sermons, but you think you have the gift of teaching, then find a young believer or find a non believer and sit down with them at Waffle House and begin to search the scriptures with them and teach them the scriptures. And begin to do those kind of acts of service. So that would be a couple ways that you could get involved. But further than that, as we're going to think through giving leadership to people, we're going to want to see that they have been faithful and humble in their service. And so we want them to show that they're willing to do things like work in the nursery and do things that nobody's really going to even notice before we give them areas of responsibility that people are going to notice. And so if you're wanting to get involved in Imago Dei, do those hands and knees type ministry that somebody may not see, you may not get recognized for, but eventually as you do things like that, we start to notice, and we want to give you areas of responsibility. And I know, Tony, you have some further thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think Jesus said, if you want to be first, be last, and if you want to be great, be a servant of all. Take on unnoticed tasks and do things that aren't always glorious. And there are several things, as Nate just mentioned, that would demonstrate that. I think also, if you're waiting for someone to tell you what to do, um, you may wait a while. We've intentionally designed Imago Dei so that we don't have a lot of programs, so that you have time during the week to do what Jesus has already told us to do, namely make disciples. And so while we will have some ministries and needs at Imago Dei, which will require volunteers, we've been thinking even tonight about ESL and some various outreaches that we hope people will come and join us. I would say the dominant way you get involved in Imago Dei is simply by living a missional life, by meeting your neighbors, by using your meals that you have during a week, and take people out to eat and get to know them, and share the good news with them. So we want people to live as missionaries in the city, and that's really how you will get involved. I mean, there are going to be mission trips. There are going to be other things as we grow. And I would just say, be patient as we begin to build systems and more ministries develop. But right now we have a very simple model of church, and we want you to use this time in between Sunday worship and your growth group to do evangelism and disciple making, and also in your growth group to be doing ministry out of that. I mean, that would be the primary way that you would get involved in ministry. In a formal sense at Imago Dei, is to belong to a growth group and just get engaged with what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up on something you said, and again, we're a young church. Tony mentioned that, and so we don't have a whole lot of programs, and so if what you're looking for is a whole lot of programs like Awanas and RAs and GAs, which goes old school Southern Baptist, some of y'all wouldn't know about, but if you're looking for those kind of programs, we may never have those programs. We may someday have something like that, but we may never. And so if that's the kind of church you're looking for, we may not be the best option for you. The other thing is we want people to come to us with ideas. We're not the elders are not going to be able to come up with all the ideas that we need
Hmm.
to do effective ministry, and so we would like you to come to us with ideas. One example is we have a brother that's been leading faithfully a prayer ministry in our church, and just the way he's approached us
Hmm.
is something that everybody could learn from as well. I mean, he's never been demanding. He's never said I can't use my spiritual gifts at Imago Dei. He's just humbly done it and then asked us if we could encourage more of it, and we have been more than happy to do that, and just been so thankful for a brother like that in our midst. And so I would say, even as you have ideas, come to the elders, share them with the elders, and come in the right way. Come with humility, not demanding, but just asking. And so we want to have those kind of ministries. And we will just say this: most of y'all have made it a joy for us to serve with,
Hmm.
and have just shown that you just jump in and you're a part of the ministry, and you never really ask for anything. And so you have made it, Hebrews 13 says, a joy to shepherd. You have made it a joy for us to shepherd you. And so keep doing that. We are so thankful for the people that God has given us that we can't even take credit for the way you guys are just jumping in and being a part of the ministry.
Yeah, we want your ideas. We were just tonight at a English coffee house club with one of our pastor friends here in Kiev, and one of the girls in his church that became a believer started this outreach ministry, and it was so cool tonight. Nate and I got to share our testimony to a bunch of young Ukrainian folks who were trying to learn English,
Yeah.
and it was all the idea of someone else, and so. We want those ideas, especially when it comes to outreach. We've had some in our church say, "Hey, can we go pass out food to the homeless?" We bless that. We've had people with the prayer ministry. We've had people ask about forming a softball team to engage the city, various things. So all we're saying is don't wait to be told what to do at Imago Dei. Begin doing stuff right now through Growth Group. Begin to do stuff on your own right now. If you want us to consider ideas that we may put out to the rest of the church, by all means, we want to hear that. So there are plenty of ways a person could get involved in Imago Dei.